Hi, this is Mike with Thrive, and welcome to June's SEO Progress Report. Carly, just as we have done in prior months, we compile and tabulate several key performance indicators. We do this to keep track of our campaign progress and the overall health of the website. So diving right in, our first key metric that we evaluate is our top 5 keywords. Our top five keywords are keywords and queries that are rendering positions 1 through 5 on the first page of the Google search results. This also includes branded and non-branded keyword themes. Looking at our data, we finished at an all-time high at 35. That was 34 back in 2020, but I think something happened with our sheet and that data kind of got meshed with 2020. So I need to look and verify that because I think it was much, much lower because that's when we first started. So, but an all-time high of 35, and that is great. We're really happy to see that because we were kind of flat going in from January, February, March, April, and May, and now we have a pretty sizable increase in our non-branded presence. Let's take a look at what those keywords are and some of the volume associated with them in our next screen. All right, I loaded our keyword progress report here. As you can see, the actual keywords to the left, followed by the search engine result type, the corresponding position that it's currently in, the change in positioning that occurred over the 30-day span, the amount of competition, and the aggregate volume in search. My cost per click got cut off here on this, so I didn't resize the screen correctly. But we look at that as well to determine relevancy. As you know, SEO, we don't have any bid. We don't have terms that we can physically bid on. But it's nice to look at what our competition is willing to pay for, given certain queries and terms. With that said, we look at the keywords in 2 flavors. One being our branded, so that's going to have anything with Earthlok, stabilization, and or geolocation. We've maintained our top positions here throughout the knowledge panel, videos, local pack, and below the fold in the organic search results. So no changes there. That's been pretty consistent throughout. Looking at some of our non-branded keywords, so this is not going to contain Earthlok at all. This is going to be product and service oriented and or have a location with it. So some new ones that arrived on page 1, expansive clay stabilization. So that was a good one up here. And scrolling through pretty steady on all of the main keywords here. Soil stabilization Dallas up 1 position to number 2. Ground lock foundation up 2 positions to number 2. And then again, building foundation on clay soil and foundation on clay soil. Moving up 1 position to number 3 and 2 positions to number 3 correspondingly. So that's great. We have some non-branded movement moving up. We do have some incremental, fluctuations. Some of these can be informational searches, and you see the volume is pretty low over looking at the right-hand side. So, but more positive movement and more stability than any downward movement. So we're really happy to report on that from a non-branded while maintaining our top positions with our branded keyword themes. This key metric is total traffic. Total traffic is measured in sessions, and a session is a measure of a visitor going to more than one web page within the website. Looking at our data for June, I tell you, with the keyword gain, I expected a little bit more, but 1408 to end the month. That's slightly down from May at 1446. We do have fluctuations in volume going into the summer. However, relatively consistent if you look through April, May, and June. So with that keyword top 5 positioning gain, we would anticipate more sessions when looking at July and August. So we're really looking to outpace those months while maintaining our high degree of relevancy. Let's take a little deeper dive into the session traffic. We can break it out by source, and then we can take a look at some of our conversion data thereafter. And now I've loaded our SEO progress report here in this screen, looking at the comparative range year over year. So we'll see some differentials here, especially when we were looking month over month, and notice that the sessions were pretty steady. Looking at all traffic, we're up 13% approximately, all sessions to 1408. Our organic portion of the traffic is 1118. That's almost up 20% from this time last year, from 935. So awesome to see that. Our sources stacked together, as you see: organic, direct, social, and referral. Notice that social and referral are a little on the low side with sessions. So I just specifically look at organic and direct as our main drivers. A nice increase in overall goal completions at 9, and that represents an 80% difference from this time last year, which is awesome. Looking at overall landing pages, our blog is now outpacing our homepage, so that's great to see. That attracts a very how do I say this correctly? A very refined audience that is looking for something very specific. So my anticipation is that would have a higher propensity to convert. And as you see, a lot of our blog content really taking off here. This is also a product of our syndication efforts and our efforts with Core Vitals and some schema development. So a mixture of all those three. And in our conversions, 37% up from this time last year at 11. I'd still like to see that conversion rate over 1%. We're getting there. As you can see, we're 50% higher than we were this time last year, but closing in 0.81. So I'd like to get it at like 1.25, at least 1.5% in terms of the aggregate traffic that converts. I did go ahead and take a look and see if there was anything hindering the users from converting or hitting any of our conversion points. And there were not, fortunately. That's good. But I'd like to look at that to see if there's any way we can squeeze that conversion rate and get it as high as possible. So things I'm working for the remainder of, for the remainder of the summer. And then you see our specific completions here, the contact form, and then the specific chemical injection, thank you. So really good to see that the traffic that is coming into the site, relevant and converting, and then looking year over year, doing much better than what we were looking at this time last June. So I'm really happy to report that we have a nice increase in organic search, a nice percentage of new users, and then that maintained its relevancy and a high propensity to convert, as we can see. So we're really looking forward to outpacing ourselves again, going into July and in August. And again, we're really excited to see maintaining this high level of traffic, building off of that, and then building off of some new themes, some new non-branded keyword themes that are really going to help us expand the reach while maintaining quality. That concludes our report for this month. Carly, thank you so much for your attendance. I really appreciate it. We also really appreciate you as a client, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks.